This movie's success might prove dire for the franchise. Now, I'm going to piss off a whole lot of people. I already know I will, because Prey has garnered a lot of fans. And when it came out, a lot of people said, this is amazing. This is a return to form for Predator. Now that Alien Romulus has come out and the director Fede Alvarez is talking about doing AVP and wanting to bring the Alien and Predator franchises together, I wanted to look back on the franchise of Predator itself, the one that I love so much. And everyone loved that Prey movie. They just loved it. You know, they were like, oh, this is the best Predator movie ever. Is that so sweet? Oh, well, I think I have to say no to a lot of these people. I like the film. I have nothing against the film, but the film could prove disastrous on not just a critical level, but a legacy building level for the rest of the franchise as we know it. Now look, I'm coming at this from the approach of someone who has adamantly defended both Predator 2 and Predators, two, in my opinion, very underrated entries in the franchise. Not perfect films by any stretch of the imagination. Not even close to the best Predator films, but I still love them. I can rewatch Predator 2 whenever. Predators is a bit less rewatchable, I'll be honest, because it is kind of just a knockoff of the first movie, but it's got so much badassery in it. You know, it doesn't have all the problems with a modern film now today. It's got epic action with the Predator, and it actually makes additions to the lore, which as a lore guy, I love that. 2018, The Predator, Shane Black, is the most cringeworthy movie maybe I've ever seen ever in my life. Like, seriously, we're gonna weaponize autism in this film. Literally, like, an autistic kid is the next stage of human evolution, and the Predators want to use him. And for some odd reason, Predators, who are the Yaoja, are a superior race to human beings, somehow think splicing genetics with humans will make them superior. And then we have all this Predator splicing, which ruins the lore completely. And somehow we're going to use an autistic kid and throw him in here as well. It's just insulting, to be honest, right? It's insulting. And then we get Prey, which is a return to form. The directors, the producers, the studios said, we got to get back to formula now. We're gonna go back to basics. We're gonna go back in time as well for a new setting, but we're gonna throw back into hunting a predator in a forest. All right, that's what we're gonna go back to. So Prey came out, and a lot of people loved it. It's got raving reviews. Critics will tell you this is the best thing since sliced bread. Similar to Alien Romulus, we're bringing the series back on the right track. Now, the big debate. Is this the best Predator movie that's come out? Is it better than the original? To that, I will say, fuck no. Good movie. And I'm going to get to the things I like about Prey, as well as the things that I don't like, because there's plenty there, but it's nowhere near as good as the first Predator movie, okay? The first Predator movie is not a perfect film by any matter, but unlike Prey, it will still remain and go down as a classic. Right, let's talk about the pros of the film, okay? It's a good movie. We needed that, okay? We really needed Predator, the series, to have a good entry after the shit show that was Predator 2018. And the Predators, it's a good film in my opinion, but a lot of people found it mid. And then Predator 2, a lot of people found mid. So, and then we don't even want to talk about the Alien versus Predator movies. So yeah, we needed a good movie, and it's a good film. It's a very competently made film, I'll say that. I like the Predator just on a looks basis with that mask. I love it. I love the threat it imposes in this film. It's got some flaws, which I'll get to. Oh boy, I'm going to get to the flaws they have with this fucking Predator and this, because compared to the Predators that we've seen, like Wolf, this Yaoja is an absolute disgrace. But he's a villain. Wolf was more of an anti-hero, so I can give him some leeway. I love the way he looks. Granted, I hate the way he looks with his mask off. I hate the CGI-esque, even though they had a practical face, but it wasn't, I guess they didn't have confidence that it would look as scary without CGI. So the CGI looks terrible, and I hate how ugly the Predator looks. Like, he looks like an inbred cousin that was left to be forgotten by his family from the Yaoja. Like, look at the Yaoja from the first movie. That guy's a Chad. This one looks like he is the ugly girl on prom night. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this has some of my favorite action sequences in all the Predator movies. Okay, in all of them. Literally, I don't think of one that I get, like, let's look at the iconic ones. The fight scene with him and the bear goes down as iconic, okay? So creative. The fight scene with him versus the Frenchman is probably the fight scene I rewatched the most. The way he's just going through these guys like Kratos, it's awesome. And the fight scene with him and her brother, where the brother's actually putting a skill clinic on him. That brother was whooping his ass, and this predator bitched out and decided to use his invisibility because he was getting shot at with arrows and getting his ass handed to him. And then he turned invisible and backstabbed the bro like an absolute wuss. But he was getting his ass whooped. That's fine. I actually love the fact that he was getting his ass whooped because we haven't really seen an ass whooping like that from a person to a predator. And I gotta say, it really makes you appreciate predators like Wolf, who will go out of their way to full honor. They'll just fight a Predillion with their bare hands, versus this guy who would go to war with the rabbits and wolves and all these smaller creatures and try to bitch out. It just makes you appreciate predators who are actual warriors under this inbred cousin of theirs. Listen, on a technical level, this is a very well made movie. Okay, the shots look great. It's a beautiful looking film. The sequences are directed so well. And that's where we have to stop and get to the cons. Okay? Oh shit, sorry. Cons. Character problem. There are no characters. These are caricatures. Okay? You had in the era where we're embracing diversity and inclusivity in films and cultures, you're bringing in a film with all natives, and you're gonna go surface level 1 with their culture and not do anything with their characters. All the male characters. Okay, before we even get to the characters in this, what's the one thing that we can say about the first Predator movie? All right, listen, these characters are not the most developed in the world. They're paper thin, but they're likable. You can all say that they all have very distinct personalities. Some are just goofy, but they're likable. There's not a single likable character in this film. Maybe the brother, her older brother, but his personality, it's a bottomless pit. Hers is a black hole. All the male characters are used to prop her up because they're assholes. Literally, you had an entire culture that you could have fleshed in on to build these characters up, but instead you turn them into assholes, and then you make all these male characters just random sexist. There's literally a line of dialogue where they're like, go to the kitchen and make some food for me, or make my dinner. I'm paraphrasing, but they say that to her. These are natives who are speaking in English like this, and they say that to her. I don't know the social issues in natives at this time, okay? I'm not claiming that there isn't any sexism. There might be. But the on-the-nose dialogue is so pathetic, and you're intentionally making your male characters unlikable assholes so that you can prop her up. But the problem is she's not any more likable than them because she has no personality. Besides, I want to prove to everyone that I'm a boss babe and I can hunt. She's selfish. You know why she's selfish? I'll tell you why she's selfish. At the end of the film, she cuts off the predator's head, kills it in the dumbest way possible, I might add, but she kills it and brings the head to her tribe, and it's so beautiful. It's like, oh yes, I finally made it. I'm one of them. I'm a hunter now. I can do what the men can. The problem is she cares more about that than the fact that her brother just died for her. Her brother just got killed for her, and he's like, this is as far as I go, sis, run. I'll die for you. And he died. He got backstabbed by the predator. And instead of this could have been a great arc, right? Her characters just stubbornly cared about, oh, I need to be the man. I need to go and kill. I need to prove that I'm the best hunter because these people don't think I can. And it cost her own brother. So then you could say, okay, now her character's done with all of it. She abandoning that ego helped her get to her goal faster. Because now she doesn't care about being the best and being a boss babe. She cares just about avenging her brother. So her character's fundamentally changed. That's what you call an arc. But instead, they make her go and flex the fact that she killed the predator in front of her tribe, even though her brother just died. She's selfish. I hate her. Look at Alien Romulus. Is the main character, the female character, trying to outdo her brother, her AI brother, and all the men in the team? Like, oh, I'm going to kill the alien for you. I'm going to get these resources instead of you. I'm the one who deserves to go to the planet. No. She's actually really afraid. She's pissing herself. And she's unselfish. She's the most unselfish character in the film. She's moral. She's good, fundamentally. You want to talk about real boss babes? Let's take a look at all the films. My favorite boss babes, okay? Underworld's not the best series in the world, and I'm only mentioning the first two because those are the only ones I kind of like. Celine from Underworld is a boss babe, but not like, oh, I'm a boss babe. She doesn't say it. She just simply is that woman. She's stoic, but she's likable. Let's talk about Ellen Ripley. Do I have to say any more? The first two Aliens, she's one of the best female protagonists of all time. Jackie Brown, one of the best movies ever. Quentin Tarantino. I'm cheating a little bit by putting Ilsa Faust here because she's not the lead of Mission Impossible, but she's a damn good counterpoint to Ethan Hunt, and her character's amazing. When her character got, no, spoiler alert, when her character got killed off in the last Mission Impossible movie, I cried. That's how much I love her character. Will never make me feel that way with her, ever. The movie just simply didn't. I love these female characters. So no one can come at me saying, oh, you just hate boss babes. No. I actually love them. I'm a feminist. I love them. Let's just get to the main problem here. Okay. It's the main problem that most Predator fans have with the film. It's not even that there's an annoying female main protagonist. That's my main problem, but it's the problem they have. The Predator here is intentionally made stupid just so we can give the main character plot armor. That's a fact. Okay. Now, I'm going to give it some leeway here. I'm going to give some writers some leeway here. Right before the final fight, which is the one that most people have problems with, he does get shot in the head by her clean. She traps him in a very smart way, I might add, and shoots him in the back of the head clean. So I can understand if a couple of his brain cells are gone and he can't fight like can't think like he used to. All right, but that's me giving it as many excuses as I can, because there are just some things that happen in this fight that shouldn't happen. That I swear, if this guy went up against Arnold Schwarzenegger would break his neck compared to what this girl does. This girl who weighs like 20 pounds, okay? Actually using her bare one hand, rips his mandible off. This is like a 400-pound creature, and we've seen how strong the mandibles of these animals are. All right, they tear through flesh like it's nothing. I would assume the muscle there's thick, or the bone, or whatever, and she rips it off. She literally rips it off with one hand like it's nothing. Oh, it's adrenaline. Bro, I don't care what amount of adrenaline is going to convince me that this 20-pound woman can rip off a mandible of a predator. And he had his knife on her throat and somehow didn't cut her head off, and somehow cut his own arm off. I've rewatched that scene where he accidentally chicks his own arm on the tree, and to this day, I don't know why they put that in the fight. It makes no sense. I don't know why they put it in there. It just makes your predator look stupid on purpose. Like, I understand like what they were trying to get at. Like, oh yeah, she tricked him. It's stupid. It's stupid. I really liked the movie the first time I watched it, and then I rewatched it the second time and found myself fidgeting with the controller on my TV, saying, I want to skip through all the scenes that don't have a predator in it. And that's not because I'm like one of these TikTok new generation non-attention span having people. Like, I don't need action. The thing is, the characters are so boring and dull. The main chick it's just sequences of her throwing an axe in a tree with her dog, or being mad at her brother because him and his crew are sexist to her. Like, what is there for me to watch? Like, there's nothing interesting happening. Everything that's interesting that happens is with the Predator. So there's no rewatchability. I can rewatch the first Predator, the second Predator, even the third, as many times as I want. I will not actually fault the movie for this. There's not a lot of lore expansion. In fact, they mess up the lore because this Yaoja is a very completely different breed of Yaoja, and before it was established that there's two breeds of Yaoja, the super black predators and the classical predator, the jungle predators, and I guess the comics might have explored other things, but I think this is a completely new creation that they've made for this film, and it goes against the movie. In terms of the movie context, it's a different breed, okay? And they don't explain it at all, fine, all right? It is way back in time, so I guess there's just different breeds of Yaoja that have been coming on. But the problem is, when they do this stuff and they don't explain it, and they're constantly contradicting the lore, it starts to piss fans like me off. With alien films, there's a contingent of fans that don't want you to go too much into the lore because it'll ruin the mystery of the xenomorph. Well, with Predator, it's different because yes, it's cool to have mystery, but predators have their own culture. Their own unique culture and planets that are so interesting in and of itself that you should delve into the lore. It's not like a xenomorph. They're different breeds of animal, right? And AVPR was the only one that showed a world of the Yaoja a little bit, to its credit. The only credit I can give that pathetic movie. The Predators film, say what you want about it, but it did expand on the lore a little bit with the whole two breeds of predator thing. It was a hell of a lot better than what they did in this film, where they retconned a lot of the lore and said, oh, the predators are trying to splice genes, and they give us this abomination. So I guess Prey has something over that, because that's a trash movie. So to course correct after the abomination diarrhea fest that was Predator 2018, this had to be simple. but simple after a while will get old. And that comes to my main fear. When Hollywood sees something working, they'll milk that shit until we are sick and tired of it. Overall, I give this movie 6.8 to 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 I think is reasonable, okay? It's not the best Predator movie, not even close. It's a average good time, decent watch, better than average good time. It's a good movie. It's a very good movie. I'm sorry if I pissed a lot of you guys off, but we need to get to the problem with this whole thing, okay? I don't know if any of you guys have seen the character synopsis or the character information revealed from Predator Badlands, but a lot of fans are worried. They don't like it. They think that, oh, we're just going to turn everything into a feminism fest, blah, blah, blah. Now, listen, I'm not against boss babes, you know me, but there's a fundamental problem here. Disney doesn't know how to write them. Hulu doesn't know how to write them. Why the hell is Acolyte's actress on here? She's not, I don't want her part of this. Not to throw shade at her. I'm just saying, like, people are comparing this to Acolyte from what they saw in the plot, and I don't like that. Get Acolyte away from this garbage piece of dumpster fire. The modern Hollywood problem is their creative souls go to die when Hollywood now comes into the fray, because Hollywood's trying to put in agendas and identity politics. We all know how the game works now, right? And it comes to the point where creatives will have a vision and then they'll have to disrupt it to appeal to the higher ups. Okay. And I don't want the death of the creative to be a thing, but that's what's happening now. So when we talk about woke, again, a very simplistic term that I think is overused and it doesn't even get to the problem. But all these franchises and characters that are getting affected by woke is causing a split between the producers and the fans. So the producers will start to churn out stuff that's considered woke by the fans, and the fans will go off on them, and the producers will go off on the fans, and it'll cause a civil war, all right? It'll cause a war. And then the franchise will get ruined as a cost of that war. I don't want that happening to Predator, of all things, okay? Now, Disney has been trying to figure out a way to make things woke, but appealing to a lot of people so they can make money. That's their goal. And they haven't been able to do it sufficiently yet because everything is bombed, right? Everything's bombed so far. I think they found their wolf now. Disney has found his wolf, and that is Prey. Because Prey did what they wanted to do. You're exploring diversity with a new culture, even though they didn't explore fuck all. And you're having a female lead in a franchise that was predominantly male and masculine, right? That's what Hollywood loves to do. They want to take the original IPs and completely turn them into something modernized, right? And fans hate it. But this one, fans seem to love it. Critics seem to love it overall. So Hollywood and Disney is like, oh yes, we found it now. We found our excuse to continuously churn this out. And now we're going to make either just as good or lesser versions of this product and pump it out, because now we've got proof of concept. We have our case study, our baby. So the fans will start to riot and go crazy over this, as they already are over the Badlands news, and a war will be caused. And I'm going to hate it. And you might think I'm overreacting. Oh, you're just gaslighting, you're projecting. I'm not projecting. I'm the one who wants this fucking thing to succeed. But I just see it going awfully wrong, especially if they continue to write female characters like this. And like I said, if they wrote them like Celine or Ellen Ripley, it wouldn't be a problem. Now, I will say, one of the main things that contrasted these two franchises, and I thought really cool, was that Alien explores the attack on femininity, the attack on motherhood, which aliens and the face huggers who like literally do sexual assault and break a freaking baby out of your stomach, it attacks the motherly instincts, the female instincts, right? And the xenomorph is a very sexual Giger-esque design. The Giger made it all sexual, right? Whereas Predator is about like a masculine warrior who's facing the fears that he's facing his own fears, his own insecurities as this tough man to fight this larger than life monster who's also a warrior, who's also of the same ilk. You know, it's a masculine versus feminine type of franchise thing. It's a contrast in themes that's actually adds to both these, and to start crossing it over and make Predator female led, it'll change that. Now that's not necessarily wrong, because again, if you have the right female lead, it could work. I just fear that variance will be sacrificed because we just need to we have an ESG check box that we need to put for these movies, right? Hollywood doesn't care about creativity. They don't care about this whole variance and theme that adds to it. They don't care about any of that, right? So I'm just worried that the Predators themselves will lose aura. Look how much aura the classical Predator and the super black hair Predator had. So much, right? Amazing. This guy in the middle here, this little inbred, he had aura up until like the second half of the film where he bitched out and then got his ass whooped by a 20-pound girl who had all the plot armor and caused him to lose his collective IQ as the fight went on. I'm afraid predators are going to look stupid in the face of the female leads. Okay? So we got to ask ourselves, for those who liked Prey, and I'm one of them, is this the kind of Predator movie we want from now on? My answer is no. Hell no. I want movies that go deeper into the lore, that have better written characters, and have smarter Yaoja that aren't victims of plot armor. That's personally me. Okay? So you guys have to ask yourselves this now. I think Prey's success has given Disney the green light to nuke the entire franchise from oblivion. My personal opinion. Watch my video on Alien explaining how Ridley Scott almost fucked his own lore up. And like and subscribe. Fuck.